oh, you're vegan? Like, what is that? As a carnivore, it's hard to understand.
The common denominator is health. I went vegan, it wasn't hard for me because I knew what I was doing prior to it. Most people, like, oh, this sucks, man, this is terrible. Are you eating your fats? Are you eating your legumes, your grains, your seeds, your nuts? Oh, no, I'm just eating lettuce. Good luck.
They literally say it's 70,000 edible plants on the earth, and everybody focuses on like 5.
This lady asked me about my boots. Those are nice boots. Are they vegan? And I was like, what? Vegan? I'm not eating my boots. That's what I'm thinking. To me, vegan was all about your eat. And so that kind of pushed me into understanding, like, oh, it's more than just that.
I got, kind of screwed over by the medical system. They didn't know I had sickle cell. They hired a psychiatrist. They put me on severe anxiety, depression medication, being told that I couldn't play sports anymore. I started to piece things together. Well, if I eat this, I'll get sick and I'll need medication. Who should have taught me? The school didn't teach me. Why didn't they teach me? Because I needed to fill their pockets. Oh, they're all in bed together. Oh, snap.
Everything is processed. All my clothes are processed. This air is processed.
Right.
We live in a process society. To demonize it is just to actually make yourself feel better.
The number one question I get asked all the time is, how do I look like you? It's consistency. We are the byproduct of the decisions that we make every single day. Choose your choice.
Everybody wants the world to change, but they're not willing to change for
That
the world.
one right there. The way people attack vegans and vice versa, it's disgusting. We all are doing this for the right reasons, and the path doesn't have to look the same for everybody.
Being vegan, he'll get there one day.
Never gonna happen. I'm Manning Sumner. I've lived my life by one motto: no days off. No days off is never taking a day off on you. It's a commitment to becoming your best self. Get ready to be inspired to do the same. This is the Big Dawgs with Manning Sumner. First of all, just thank y'all for being here. I know everybody's busy, everybody's got stuff they're doing, but for y'all to take time out of your day to come here and shoot this and see the facility, it means a lot to me. So appreciate y'all. I know you just got off a flight.
Before everybody else, just being honest.
I was here first day though. So.
Yeah, he actually came first.
But I was here.
But he came before I opened.
Sorry.
So.
I showed love. I reposted everything.
I wasn't in town. Can he finish the intro?
He who can and he who won't.
This is gonna be a long episode. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Torre, you're born in Birmingham, which is wild because I was, from Birmingham. I was born in the Gump, but that's a whole nother story. Deeply rooted in and forgive me if I say this right, Ital Rastafarian philosophy, which embraces natural living off the land for good and life. You've always been passionate about health and wellness. You're an IFBB pro, shout out, that's amazing. A speaker, an athlete, a personal trainer, and a fitness coach on the app CentraFit, founded by Chris Hemsworth. You help people build winning physiques and have been a vegan for 25 years, showing that plants can build muscle. You're also a mechanical engineer, throwing that in there. And I've said you're a bodybuilder, obviously. One of your, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of your quotes, dreams should become your thoughts, thoughts should become plans, plans should become actions, which lead to fulfillment, which I think is a amazing, badass quote.
That is pretty
no
bad.
pun intended. Lance, I see that we got our Jamaican brothers in here, man. I love it. My business partner's Jamaican, so I love it. You are a Jamaican-American, born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida. You played college basketball in high school and Virginia Commonwealth University before transferring to Eckerd College, where you majored in business management and played basketball as a forward. Most known for your health struggles with sickle cell trait as an athlete, you went on to play professional basketball in Spain and attended training camp with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You are the founder of Captain Planté? Planté?
It. You can say that. You can say that.
That's a cool name too. Which sells organic sea moss and teas. Oh, I want to get into the sea moss conversation. And the host of, I'm gonna butcher it again, Captain Plantit. Is it Teat?
Like Captain Planet.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Like the cartoon.
Captain Planet. All right. Now it may sound like trying to make it French for some reason. All right. Captain Plantit. Where you share your health knowledge gained through your journey of living with sickle cell trait. Through real conversations, focus on the 7 natural doctors. You teach listeners how to naturally biohack their health using the sun, the air, diet, water, sleep, exercise, and stress management. Your mission is to help everyone, regardless of their health issues, discover natural ways to thrive. Get that?
That was good.
Pretty damn dope.
I was like, damn.
Wow.
I actually want to meet you now.
Oh, you're back to get to know him, so. Wait, did y'all know each other before that?
Absolutely.
All right. John, badass vegan. For how long have you known each other?
Man,
It's been a minute.
Almost 20. It's a minute.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Golly.
Y'all
And it
old.
doesn't even seem like that.
Y'all old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we are.
We are.
Yeah, we age like fine wine though.
Yes,
So.
thank you.
That's right.
At 13 years old, you weighed 315 pounds. Good grief, bro.
Yeah,
What
man.
were you eating?
It wasn't vegan.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling uncomfortable in your own body, you turned to football and basketball to lose the weight, earning a full ride scholarship to Harris Stowe State College. You later went on to complete your MBA at Nova. I didn't know you went to Nova Southeastern University in Florida. You combined your love for health and fitness to create the company Badass Vegan, which, by the way, I mean, I just have to give you your flowers right now. Genius.
Appreciate
Like,
it.
absolutely genius. Like, I mean, the fact you came up with that and did that, psh, I mean, kudos. Platform dedicated to educating people on plant-based nutrition. You co-directed the 2021 documentary, They're Trying to Kill Us, which they are. Executive produced by Chris Paul and Billie Eilish. The film boldly explores food injustice through the lens of hip-hop, addressing food access, food desserts, and nutritional and environmental racism. And by the way, I'm just going to put this out in the atmosphere. That movie's about to fly. I'm just letting you know.
So, yeah.
The timing now is it's ready for it. Yeah. And oftentimes that's what it takes is the timing of the country and everything lining up. So everything that's happened to our country, this heightened sense of awareness of wellness and food, like you're about to step into something, and I really truly believe that. You're also the author of Badass Vegan, Fuel Your Body. Can I say it? Fuck the system.
Yeah.
And Live Your Life Right, a cookbook, and the owner of Vegan Smart, a protein and greens powder brand under Naturade, committed to ending diet-related illnesses in undeserving communities through your collaboration with Health Truth. You founded Badass Nuts, which is another genius concept, and healthy, organic, raw vegan snack line.
Yeah. It's too much.
I know, you got
It's
so
all
much,
good.
bro.
It's all good.
Yeah,
man.
it's all good. Quote, though, let's leave it there. I believe in the fitness in its entirety. The body is not the only thing that is important to great health. The individual has to be mentally prepared to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, so I want to start with the obvious, all right? I want everybody to go around and tell me when you became vegan and why, and it doesn't have to be long or anything, but just, you know, because you're all vegans, and I find that to be crazy. And I'm just being honest. As a carnivore, it's hard to understand. But at the same time, what I love about this is the most important thing that I want to make sure everybody hears us, because I'm sick and tired of seeing stuff online where we're beating each other up. It's like when Christians beat up Christians and conservatives beat up conservatives and, you know, Jamaicans beat up, like, we all are doing this for the right reasons. And the path doesn't have to look the same for everybody. And so I know everything y'all are doing is a good thing in your own way. And we all don't have to be doing the same thing. But health is something that everybody has to find their own path and what works for them. So I just want people to realize that you can sit down with someone that thinks differently than you and talk about why, and then come to an understanding. And again, you can agree to disagree. Right. But the way people attack vegans and vice versa, it's disgusting. Like, it's just weird to me. I don't understand it. And it's unnecessary. And I really thought that this would be a great opportunity for us to get together. We have differences, but we also, I mean, I admire you guys. We have great friendships. You know, we're not like, we're in the same space and we can have these conversations in a healthy way. So just wanted to start through that. Lance, you start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you say, you know, the common denominator is health. It's about not poisoning our body, putting great things in our body. And, you know, 99% of the people that I know aren't vegan, right? So it's not like I have anything against non-vegans, right? For me personally, it's about what I want, and I'm pro what I do. I'm not anti what everybody else does. Like, the majority of my friends, you know, sometimes they'll laugh and joke, but I know they're my friends. But then you'll go online in the comments, oh,
it's brutal.
How are you gonna do this? And I'm like, listen, man, like it works for me. I get it. You know, I've been in it for a while. I learned about it before I got into it. Like I say, I've been vegan for almost 8 years. 8 years.
Okay.
8 years. And I became vegan because of the sickle cell, right? My whole understanding is that the majority of my genetics, I'm 85% African, 15% European, they come from the tropics. You know, you can look at it from the nose structure, the hair texture. It tells me everything that I need to know. The tropical environments, tropical foods, what's there, more plentiful of fruit and veggies. So I went that route. All right. And am I anti what everybody else does? No, everybody has their own path. Like, I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I'm no one to tell somebody what they should do and condemn them for it.
And just so you can elaborate on that.
Yep.
When you did make that decision, did you get advice to do that, or is that something you discovered on your own?
Yeah. So I did get advice for it, but then also I read. So I had a book. I stole it from school. You know,
They're still looking for you right now.
Listen. I steal books. I'm sorry, and not from the store, but you know the ones at school you pay for it and you don't give it back.
Are you talking about the ones you check out of the library and then you never bring it back?
No. You pay for them. No, you pay for them. But then you're supposed to give it back at the end of the year. It's like, why would I give back something I paid for? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you know how they give you books.
Yeah. They didn't give it to me. I actually paid for it, but then they wanted it back. It's like, no, I'm going to keep my book.
Right. Oh yeah, I kept all my books.
You got to come with another word than stole.
Yeah, you didn't steal it. You just kept it.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah.
You didn't donate it back. Right. Because that's really what it is. You're donating it back.
Yeah.
Right. They don't change the edition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it was Essentials of Strength and Conditioning, right? It's the one that you take for the SESE.
Okay.
CSCS. And they talked about, being vegan and how you need to couple foods. You need to put the legumes with the seeds to create complete protein. So I was like, oh, really? All right. So all my struggles, okay, let me try to piece this together. I went vegan. It wasn't hard for me because I knew what I was doing prior to it. Most people that I come across that are vegan, that they just jumped into it, they're like, oh, this sucks, man. This is terrible. It's like, well, are you eating your fats? Are you eating your legumes, your grains, your seeds, your nuts? Oh, no, I'm just eating lettuce. Good luck.
Right, exactly.
Good luck. You might die.
Right.
You just might. But but that's how I went. I was fully equipped with knowledge, and I can go either way if I wanted to. If I wanted to be a carnivore, I can go 100% that way. I can go 100% that way because I knew health before I did anything. So,
Would you say you're somebody, because I kind of like sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a foodie, but like you eat to live rather than live to eat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really don't care for eating at all.
Yeah.
Like if someone said go 2 days without eating, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's bland, okay, cool. I don't care. It tastes good, okay, cool. Like I really don't care because I had my suffering from sickle cell trait. I was in the hospital a lot. Almost lost my kidneys twice. Used to get IVs before every game, oxygen tank during the game.
Wow.
I lost the love for things that made me feel good. I mean, taste good, and opted for things that make me feel good. So that's
actually a great way to say it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I tell people is, when someone asks me about diet, the first thing I tell them is you need to start to recognize how it makes you feel. Like, get a diary. When you eat this, I feel this way. When I eat this, I feel this way, because your body will tell you what your response is if you just pay attention. Like, it's amazing to me that people, they just eat something and then they're like, man, I feel like crap. And then they eat it again. And you're like, maybe it's the food. Yeah. So.
But then also too, it's like, pay attention an hour later how you feel too.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
You might feel great immediately because you're gonna get that.
Or even a day later. Like, how in your bowel movements, like in your, like all that stuff. Like, pay attention to the reaction you're having to what you're eating on a daily basis. Yep. And then, because I call it the elimination process.
Right.
And before we get into Torre's journey, like, that's what I believe we're all in a similar journey, is that we've all eliminated stuff. And I think that's if I look at people that are truly healthy, it's because they've eliminated processed foods, a lot of sugar, a lot of like just bad stuff, bad oils and what have you. And then they're eating, or if it's veggies or organic meat, like they're eating the right things, the non-processed foods. And that's where all of a sudden their life starts to change. So Torre, tell us like when you started.
Yeah, so my vegan journey actually started without me even knowing that it was actually vegan, because I was raised vegetarian. So I was raised. My mom was Seventh-day Adventist, and she went that route because she was raised Catholic, but she decided to change her lifestyle. And so once she went Seventh-day Adventist, she raised me and my brother in that vegetarian lifestyle, because Seventh-day Adventists have this message that it's all about health. And so that's how they push health as one of the keys to living like those back in the days of Garden of Eden. You know, because in Garden of Eden, that's all you had was fruit and vegetables. And so once I went that route, moved to Jamaica, like I was telling you, I moved to Jamaica and I lived with my grandparents. And then in Jamaica, I didn't have access to being vegetarian or vegan, only because my grandparents had no idea what that was. You know,
Really?
like, they're gonna eat whatever we give them. And so she just asked them, hey, please just don't give them pork. So I've never had pork in my life. So I've had chicken, I've had beef, I've had cow tongue, tripe. You know, I don't know if you know what tripe is. Tripe
No,
is
what
what?
is it?
Tripe is the intestines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Chitlins.
it's basically like chitin.
Oh, I've had
But in
chitlins.
Jamaica, it's called tripe.
Okay.
You know, so
But
yeah, you
chitlins
know
is
tripe.
pig, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's right, yeah.
Tripe is cow.
Tripe is the cow.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and when I moved back to Florida, eventually I got connected with some friends of mine from high school. We were all Jamaican, and started growing our hair. And we said, you know what? We can't just grow our hair and not really identify or understand why. Because one of my friends, his father was Rasta, but he cut his locks to work in corporate America. And so since we were growing our locks, he kind of was like, oh, just our old fashion thing. You know, just grow your locks for fashion. Kind of like, you know,
I got you.
hip hop was
Right,
popular. The
yeah.
locks started getting popular. So we started looking into it, and I really looked into it. Like I was reading the Nazarene vow, the whole thing about Rasta, and I saw that ital was a main component of the way they ate. But then I realized that a lot of Rastas that I was in contact with didn't eat this way. They still wore leather, they still ate fish or chicken, you know, but most of the Rastas that lived off of the sea were fishermen. So they just basically ate fish still. And so, but when I saw that ital was encompassed none of that, I said, okay, I can't say I'm Rasta and not be really truly a Rasta, because to me it's hypocritical. And it was more my integrity, because I had no idea about the whole vegan lifestyle, because it was nothing I never heard of. Because living in Alabama and as a vegetarian,
Just because I'm from Alabama and like, you know, it's barbecue on every corner. So
once I realized more about it, I decided to just not consume anything that had animal in it. And when I really took on that in Florida, and then I went to school in Alabama. I went back to school in Alabama for my degree in engineering. But when I started in 98. In 98, I said, you know what? This is it. I just cut it off. I stopped eating it. My last meal was, I remember, because I had a girlfriend at the time. She made me salmon with rice and broccoli. And, you know, because I was very much into bodybuilding. I was very much I read everything about it. I went to competitions, but I didn't compete. I was just intrigued, because that's another story of itself. I was intrigued of how they looked and wanted to look like that, because to me, I said, that looks like a superhero. Because that was my only relation to anybody to look up to was a superhero, because my father wasn't there. He left when I was 5. So, and then once I took that on, studied more about Rasta, moved back to Alabama, went to school, got a job in Auburn, and then I remember going to a veg fest in Atlanta. And in that veg fest, I went to a food truck to get some Caribbean food, which was vegan at the time. And this lady asked me about my boots, because long story short, I hung out with a lot of people from the East Coast, so New York. So I was into New York music, hip hop scene, rocking Timberlands and jeans. And so I had on Timbs, black Timbs, and jeans. And she said, "Are those are nice boots? Are they vegan?" And I was like, "What? Vegan? Like, I'm not eating my boots." That's what I'm thinking. Because to me, vegan was, when I learned about it, was all about your eat.
right.
And so that kind of pushed me into understanding that, oh, it's more than just that. And so I've been that way ever since 98, just been pushing on through.
So it was more of a spiritual journey, really.
Spiritual
Yeah.
integrity type of a thing. You know? And
Who did you really admire in the bodybuilding world back then?
yeah, that's how I got started.
Yeah, I mean, me too. But
So,
I'm
and
just
it's
curious.
funny because
I always
I've
thought more
met him
you
a few times.
I thought you'd be leaning towards Franco Columbu, since y'all are the same height.
You know,
Hey, Franco was the man now. Come on.
But
He was a beast.
He just had a different physique structure. His lats came all the way down to his waist.
Yeah.
So he looked more like a cobra back
Right.
versus the aesthetic that I
He
like
was
of Arnold.
strong
Yeah, he's strong because
as
he broke
He was
his
compact.
whole leg.
Yeah.
I remember he was carrying that fridge.
Right.
And he still kept moving.
Yeah.
But you saw it go.
Yeah, it was horrifying. Yeah.
But
No, Arnold.
I want to say Arnold because I know he said it a million times. Like this.
Arnold. I mean, there's nobody ever that looks like
And
him.
what inspired me was because I started watching his movies, and I just started to look into his story, and I said, "Oh, he's a bodybuilder."
Did you see the documentary on Netflix?
The most recent?
Yeah, the most
Yes.
recent one. That was so good. So
It was good. It was good
Yeah.
until he started talking the political.
Well,
political
yeah.
stuff.
The
Like,
political stuff, like you know,
Yeah.
bom, bom. Yeah,
But yeah,
and him banging his freaking
and she.
oof.
I don't know
When
how.
he started
like,
banging Shrek, like that was a
yes,
problem.
like
I mean,
dude.
and then like the son is like walking around the house, like, and then his wife's like,
Wait a minute, y'all look just alike.
I got the same walk.
That was crazy. All right, John,
What up?
when did you start?
Oh man, it's been 20 years now.
Okay,
I started because my mother was sick, and I remember going to talk to the doctors, like, what happened? She had colon cancer, and I'm like, how did this happen? He's like, too much fried, fatty animal foods. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not hereditary? He's like, no, this is a lifestyle choice. And I just remember looking at him like, and I had already gone vegetarian for like a year. At that point, I was at Nova, completing my master's degree, and I was just like, man, let me just try this vegan. Like, to be honest, I don't know what my cursing limit is on here. But
You're
you know
good,
me.
you're fine.
I was like, I don't know what let me just try this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just, and then I remember how I felt. Like, I had horrible IBS, TMI, but it is what it is. And I just remembered like being non-existent. And I was like, wait a minute, man. Like, hold on. That means I can like maybe solve this myself. And then I started noticing like my energy level picked up. Because I know a lot of people, they say, oh man, I went vegan and you know, my energy level went down and that. And it's like, well, Lance said, was like, if you eating fucking salad every day, that's your main course dinner, then
Right.
yeah, you probably ain't gonna have no energy. Like, you know, there's other stuff out there.
Yep.
They literally say it's 70,000 edible plants on the earth. And everybody focuses on like 5.
and don't you think too? I mean, and then again, this is with
That's all good.
with no like real context. It's just kind of my brain that's working. Is like what I've seen is when people try to go vegan too, is they're buying all the like vegan cookies and vegan this
Yeah.
and the vegan burgers
It's
and
still
that,
a fucking cookie.
and
You
it's
gonna be
like
fat.
that's not really what y'all do. You're eating organic,
Yeah.
natural like stuff from the earth. So
Yeah.
you know, not all this stuff that's sold in
And I will
you know,
say this,
Whole Foods.
Tori's helped me out with the whole process thing. Like, because pretty much to be vegan, everything you eat is going to be processed to a certain point. Because if you in St. Louis eating avocados, it was a process to get it there. You know what I'm saying? So everything's processed.
Right.
But it's minimally processed. I'll say that. Like, we're not sitting there with like, and yeah, we travel like crazy. Like, I average 100,000 miles a year, just sky miles. So I'm traveling all the time. Like, if I'm at a place and they got a vegan burger, I'm gonna go and try it out.
Right,
Like,
right,
whatever.
right.
But that's not my everyday ritual to eat this way. And I think that's where people get it messed up. It's like, yeah, you can eat the stuff, but you can't make that your everyday, you know, burger fries.
Right.
And that's vegan or not.
80-20, 80-20 rule.
Yeah, 80-20, you know what I'm saying? And
90-10 rule.
and everybody not getting on stage, so you don't have to be as dialed in, but there has to be some kind of discipline in order to be healthy. Because I was sitting there thinking today, and I was talking to my brother, and it's so funny, and I was like, and I told him that, and he said, but you got to mention that on the podcast. I told him I was coming on the podcast. He said, you got to say this on the podcast. And I was like, I don't think everybody ready for this. But I told him, I said, man, it kind of fucks me up that everybody's so up in arms about these insurance companies not caring about their health. But I'm like, but you ain't care about your health for the last 40 years. So how you expect somebody that don't even know you to care more about your health, but you care when something go wrong?
Right.
Now when something go wrong, you're like, I need everybody else's help.
Yeah.
Like, no, you didn't take care of you. Now, don't get me wrong. Situations happen where you can do everything right, and a baby still gets brain cancer. It's all kinds of stuff that happens. But if you not taking care of your end of the bargain, you can't sit here and be mad at everybody else because they didn't jump on board to save your life now.
And also, everybody wants the quick fix.
Yeah.
So they want the magic pill.
Yep.
They want the magic food. They want the magic drink to make them feel and look good instead of actually putting in discipline, putting in work, making right choices.
Yeah.
And
Because it's boring.
right.
They call it boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah.
Or it's inconvenient.
Inconvenient.
Yeah. That's another one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the different labels came about when it comes to these different carnivore, vegan, like this, and that, and the other, because people were looking for something to solve a problem. So they're like, oh, this does it now. Oh, so we all need to jump on that one now,
right?
Because this is what's seemingly solving the problem that people are having. So now that it's trending to a different way, so people jump on that. And so now they're following this new label because I've been hearing good results from other people that saying that this is happening, but no one's taking accountability for their own actions.
For themselves.
Yeah.
And then also to your point, it's like now the information is everywhere, right? And people literally, they'll find people on Instagram and they're like, oh, I have to do what he does, or I have to do what she does. And it's like, no. Actually read for yourself. Find out what you need. Again, going back to what I said earlier, like write down stuff, pay attention. It's just, it's insane how people just go.
So easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to follow that person. Like somebody can literally be like, yeah, and I started using crack and I lost 10 pounds. And somebody be like, you know what? Bet you if I
Well,
tried
everyone
it.
always wonders why I've never really gotten into the nutrition world of this whole fitness thing. We've been. I mean, now the brand is pretty big, obviously, and I've always asked, what's your nutrition advice? And I've just never leaned into that because I truly believe it's an individual.
It really,
It's something that is personal. It's like spirituality. It's something that you have to have a personal relationship with God. I don't care what denomination, church, religion, whatever. If you don't have a personal relationship with God, then you're probably not going to find what you need because it has to be something for you.
And that's your definition too. And I love that you say that because that's your definition. Like some people think like they're so focused in on it's got to be this religion and this denomination of religion. Like it's like no, like if whatever that person believes in makes them the best person for this planet, I don't care what you believe in. Yeah. There's certain people that don't believe at all that'll probably come help you at the drop of a dime. Where like somebody that's the most ultimate religious person, you're like, man, this just happened to me. They're like, man, good luck. Like,
or they fall into the point where there are rules and regulations within that box
don't allow them to help.
They can't walk or do something on a Friday. I can't come get you because I'm not supposed to drive.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that goes back to what I'm saying, like when people are attacking people for what they're choosing to eat or whatever, it's like, that's just insane to me. I've never understood it.
Now, for the record, anybody, I don't know which camera I'm looking at here. We do talk shit to each other.
Of course.
As friends. But we not out here like,
but that's different.
Yeah, that's different. But it's not like, I can't.
How many times, Lance, have I told you to eat a steak? Almost every time I see him. Like, hey, bro, you want me to make his steak?
I just be like, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, and here's something like, so I did try to go vegan before. My brother's tried, like my dad has tried, like we've done it the right way and all that, and it's just it wasn't meant for me. It's one of those things I just couldn't I didn't feel like, to your point, I just didn't feel good. And then during the pandemic is when I went hardcore carnivore, and I just felt amazing, like, and again, that's me. That's me. But you've never seen me on Instagram trying to get people to do what I do, ever. No. Like when someone asks me what I do, I always start with a caveat. I'm like, this is what I do. I'm like, I'm not telling you to do this. This is what I do.
Right.
And if you want to try it. But I'm not telling you that this is right for you, So I think we just got to get into that of helping people find what's best with them, and y'all need to tell your stories and you need to tell what works for you, because there might be someone out there that can truly relate, change their lifestyle to your lifestyle. And then all of a sudden, yes, you're making a difference. I think we all kind of can find the people that will do what we do and then they get results. But we shouldn't I just don't like the people that are trying to force, you know what I mean? Or shame.
Right.
Like, oh, you're vegan? Like, what is that? Like I don't even understand that.
Times it might even happen like say on your post or whoever's post, like one of my friends that ain't vegan, I might comment something and it'll be positive as hell.
Bro, I can't ever comment on your stuff.
No, you can't.
Ever. I get destroyed.
Some shit. You do.
I get destroyed. I tried to joke.
Because
I'll joke with it. And then all of a sudden I get 50 DMs that I'm an animal killer and like, you know, PETA's coming to murder me. And like,
what you should try is to actually be nice on my page. Like, you can crack the joke with me behind the doors, but what happens is...
I think it's more fun to do it publicly.
and my thing is, too, like, the people that are vegan will come to me like, did you see what he said? And I'm like, yes, I know him personally. And then they'll be like... You
allow this? You allow this? You're evil.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, dude, and I tell people all the time, like, if it bothers you that much, the unfollow button is at the top right-hand corner. Like, you just go ahead and press that shit.
What made you go vegan or wanted to do it?
I just, in this industry, I think it's always, I always like to try to like be relatable and like, I don't ever like to say, like, it's like when you tell somebody to run a mile and you've never run a mile. Like, you know, I wanted to put myself in the position of being able to tell people this is how I felt on it. And I mean, you talk about losing weight though. Good Lord. I mean, I was like a beanpole. So that was the biggest part that I just couldn't.
You didn't know us.
You know.
But I was going to say.
No, I'm sure if I did it another way, I'm sure it would be fine. But and I'm not like, even now, I mean, today I had tuna and rice. You know, I'm not like some, you know, now I'm finding again the balance, you know, with it too. Like, and I'm sure, you know, again, y'all know you've been doing it so long, now it's like, it's not even it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle.
I've never even considered
you know what I mean?
It's funny you say, when you were talking about how you just wanted to be a proponent of what you said, in the sense like run a mile, but I've run a mile.
Right.
That's how I came into understanding supplementation has its place, because I used to be.
Oh man.
I used to hate it. Like
when
I
I
just
started
eat food.
the protein shake company, I'm like, yo, come on the team. Dude, you know I don't do that. And then a year later, I see him like.
I had to realize that, you know, hey, it works. It has this thing for certain people because
it's convenient.
It's convenient.
It's convenient.
People love it. And I realized once I started being super competitive, I hired a coach. And so when I hired a coach, this increased my intake of protein compared to my carbohydrate intake.
Let me ask you a question. So, because I'm always intrigued with that. So, where are you getting the most protein from your diet?
Seitan.
What? Say that again.
Seitan is like wheat gluten.
Wheat gluten.
Vital wheat gluten. So I swear, because I'd rather eat. And now when it comes to eating, I'd rather eat there. Then I do tofu. Then I do tempeh.
Okay.
And things like that. Now,
what's your opinion on soy?
Yeah, I've been eating soy since I was born.
It's a myth.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so that whole soy thing. And what about gluten? All this gluten-free crap.
I think there are people.
Glyphosate.
I think there are people that have intolerance for it, but it ain't the percentage of people that act like, oh my God, I cannot eat gluten. It's like some people can eat it. And now, do it make you feel better if you stop eating it? You might actually do it. Right. But again, it comes down to try it and see. Like, eliminate it, like you said earlier. Do you feel better?
Right. And
sometimes it might be like a placebo effect. You're not even, it really didn't do nothing.
I'll tell you what, if you go to Italy and eat, or like I lived in Spain, I eat bread all the time and nothing. Like they don't have the glyphosate. They don't have the synthetic ingredients that we add in American diet. So, and that goes for plant or meat. Like they do, they give B12 injections, antibiotics to animals. They do a lot of stuff. The pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides that are in the plants, they feed the crop to the animals that's a second hand.
Wow.
So it's a whole. It's not just the vegans or the carnivores or whatever. We're all getting it.
Right.
Sounds like they're trying to kill us.
It really does. Kind of, yeah.
And, it's interesting because I had my blood work done the other day. I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like, what my testosterone is at.
What was it?
It was like almost 600. Really? I was like, I guess, is that good? And they were like, no, that's really good for your age, and you don't eat meat. And they're like, that's really good.
Notice how he didn't say my age. He just said for my age.
And everything else.
What's funny is I was gonna ask him his age like earlier, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
No, he's gotten way more comfortable. I've been telling him for years.
I used to hate it because
people put him in a box,
and I like younger women, so it's like.
I mean, so does Bill Belichick.
Because I felt like when the younger women see, they're like, oh, he's my dad's age. No, thank you.
Now, mind you, for people out there, when he says younger women, he does not mean high school or college.
All right.
He means,
All right, Diddy. Let's leave the easy title.
He means a legitimate range here.
Yeah, we do have to preface that these days.
Yeah, you gotta just,
These days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was hard for me to do that because I didn't realize that there was a market that when they heard my age, they were like, "What? What are you eating? What are you doing?" And and I could just sell you this pipe dream. Like, hey, you eat like me, you'll look like me.
Right.
I could because people do that all the time.
All the time.
And they're making
And it makes a
millions
lot
of
of
dollars.
money.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like,
Let me show you how to target belly fat. Fucking lies. Yeah, all
No,
over
it's
the place,
bad.
man.
But yeah, that's what made me decided to go to the supplement route. Just kind of, and now I do it here and there. I do.
And what's
protein.
your kind of go-to supplements?
Just protein powder and creatine.
Okay.
Those are my main two things, And I remember creatine because creatine's been around a long time.
So, and I'm actually, it's interesting that you said that because I was under the impression that creatine was not, was anti-vegan. So,
No.
okay.
I mean, your body creates vegan.
Yeah, it does.
Creatine is 3 amino acids.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, creatine to me, there's so many studies coming out
I
too
know,
with
it's
the
just getting
mind
more
and
and more
like and for
like you
women,
said,
it's,
it's been around,
and this whole, the whole thing, the bad thing about creatine was, you bloat on it. And that was all
But if
crap.
you drink your damn water,
Like,
like, just,
yeah. It's
And I
just
think
insane.
they misunderstood the scientific explanation because it increases water to the muscle cells.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's some people, depending on the version or how it's prepared, it may have an adverse effect of putting on water.
Right.
But that's just because your body's response to anything that's abnormal
Right.
is to increase the water intake to balance the hormones to get your body to say what is going on. And that's what happens.
And how many grams do you take a day?
5. But I've been increasing it sometimes because like you said, with
Yeah.
the research, they say 5 to 8 is good.
I was
too.
about to say I take
Yeah.
7 grams
Yeah.
a day, and I've been doing that for a long time. And when I played football, we took like scoops of it. Like
Yeah, because then
Oh, dude, I
they
was
always say
saying
use the
that
loaded.
college, you was
yeah,
Now you don't have to load
you
it.
creatine
Yeah.
load.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
wait, so this is a good question for you. What is before knowing us?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was your reaction to vegans taking supplements? Because I used to get all the time people like, "Oh yeah, he's in shape, but I bet you he's taking a ton of supplements." Like it was a bad thing. Like I never understood that.
I don't have reactions like that. Yeah.
Well,
So
no,
I
you
could
don't.
care
You
less what
actually
y'all
don't.
do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. But like, I was saying to somebody else, I'm like, I don't understand the way people get mad at vegans taking supplements. I'm like, supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And if vegans only make up 3% of the world, we ain't the ones keeping them in business. But for some reason, it's a problem when we take it. Like,
But I also don't y'all find it interesting that again, this is just my experience. Almost every single supplement says vegan,
Yes.
yeah.
plant based. You know what I mean? Like,
The only time you
right? It's like every supplement out there is like it's a like vegan pills,
Right.
So because I take
Yeah.
a lot of supplements,
And but
like a lot.
The thing you'll get caught up in
Like,
like
y'all would laugh at how many supplements I take. Like my wife is like, "What the heck is going on?" Like I take
always
a
wondered
That's 'cause
that.
you old,
lot.
man. You gotta
Exactly, exactly. So it's hard to maintain this.
Hey man, I get it. Shit.
Trying to keep up with these 20-year-olds.
But y'all
That
are
makes
around the
sense,
same age,
John.
though.
That I think, and now I know why, because people assume when you're vegan, you're like perfectly pure. You're only gonna eat fruits and veggies. You're not supposed to take any supplements because you're getting it all from the earth. Yeah. So when you're taking a supplement, it's like, so that shit don't work then.
What I tell them is though is like you got to think about it. The apple that you eating today doesn't have the same amount of nutrients that it had 100 years ago. If the earth is depleted, which we know the earth is depleted, anything coming from the earth is going to be depleted. That's like if you a parent and you depleted and you go try to go parent, you ain't gonna give that child all your all because you're depleted. So you need that supplement. So like that's why it's just confusing to me, like why people. But I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, as we know, being vegan, he'll get there one day.
It's never gonna happen.
But we all know too, like vegan is about doing your best to be that person.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, but you do what you can to do it. Like
I actually think it's just hilarious that we have to even label
Yeah,
people
well,
vegan. Like,
yeah,
let's
right.
just start there.
That was
Like,
one
like
of my
just
think about it.
favorite things to say.
hearing you say what you just said, like, and you're kind of like, and again, I'm not like
No, for
saying
sure.
anything bad, but just me hearing my boy John, you know, and again, I know your name is Badass Vegan, but the way you're sitting there talking, like, you know, like that's not who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm trying to say is like y'all don't walk around with like a big ass V on your chest, you know, like you know, it's just
Only in Vegas.
It goes back to it's your lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
It's what works for you, but it's not your identity.
No.
You know, like each one of you are so much more than that. Like, and let's get into that a little bit because that's why you're here. You're not here because you're daggum vegan. You're here because you're a special, unique person that when you walk in the room, you make it better. Each of you, that's why we've gotten along, is because as soon as I met you, there's an energy. There's like a little like, man, what's up with this dude? Like, you know, and then all of a sudden we start talking and we start to have some common ground, and it has nothing to do with what you eat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would like to start to get in a little bit more of like y'all's mindsets, because each of you are very successful in your own way. Each of you are very impactful in your own way, and you're all doing something like positive in the world, you know? And so let's just lean into that a little bit and get off this vegan shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Nah, I feel
that's
you.
why
I
you're
feel you,
here.
man. I feel
And
you.
I'm tired of the labels. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and in this world that everybody just puts you in this, you know, like me, oh, I have muscles, so I can't think or something. You know, it's like crazy, you know? Like, oh, he's a football player, you know? Like, you know,
It's true though. It's true.
It's crazy.
I say that
It's
shit-
wild.
I say it all the time because people like, I think people think I'm just an athlete. I'm like, dude, I got 2 fucking degrees. Like, dude, like, he's a fucking mechanical engineer. When I tell you, this dude is fluent in Japanese. Like, I'm no bullshit.
Which
like,
is
which is
extremely
crazy.
hard
You know what I'm
language
saying?
to learn.
So like, when I say stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm like, what, for real? I'm like, yeah, like,
You can't be
they just think like
multidimensional.
an athlete.
So actually,
like,
this is a great question. So I was gonna save this till the end, but let's do it now.
For sure.
Tell the audience some things about yourself that nobody knows that you want them to know.
he was looking at you first.
About myself that I would say I don't know.
He can hit
I'll
his-
start.
You start. You start.
That
You
helps.
start.
So
Incriminate
for
yourself
me,
first.
yeah, exactly. For me, it's the love that I have for people, because I'll get emotional about it, but because when you're an alpha and you look the way I do, and you're always holding people accountable, and you're pushing people to become their best selves, and you're calling out their bullshit, and you're constantly basically in their face, like everybody around you, you want to
See the best out of it.
get the most potential out of them as you can, because you see the potential people, you see the greatness in people.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why you're constantly on their ass about everything. And that's who I am, because I love so hard. Because when I meet people and I don't see who they are, I see who they can be, right? So when you see that, and then you're constantly like, you can do better, correct this, do this, do this. Not because I know everything, but because I love so much, and I want to see them on the other side of what they can be, you know? So that, I wish people would like know that that's where I come from, not just, oh, that guy's crazy, like he's always on my, you know, that. And then secondly, I'm extremely like creative. Like I love music. I love art. I love creating. Like I love it. Like I love fashion and like all this stuff. And, you know, again, when you look like me, I've come from Alabama, you know, people would be like, you know, what? You know, like that's weird, you know? So, and why? Why is that weird? Like, it's like, why can't I just be me?
Right,
You know?
right,
And you design
'cause you got
all your
muscles.
gyms.
Yeah, like,
Shit,
so-
you can't do that.
Yeah.
Everything,
He designed it.
every
Right.
single
No,
thing
yeah.
you see in here, I hand-picked out and designed myself. Obviously, shout out to Skywork Development Architect. Obviously, they helped me tremendously. But from the colors to the quotes to the furniture to from the pictures to layout, like everything. And then when it comes to like the design of the can and designing, you know, the apparel, stuff like that, and that's my passion and what I love to do. And I honestly feel like it's my purpose to excel in things that are different than the stereotype, because I think that'll allow other people that are told they can only do something to go beyond that thing. Because we can do whatever we put our minds to. Anything we want to do, we can do. No matter what you look like, no matter your background, no matter your circumstances, you can become the person you want to become that's inside of you. And I feel like we all have that inside, that inside voice is saying, no, I want you to be this.
Right.
You know, like don't hold back. Be this person. And so that's my thing is I wish, you know, and again, I don't care if people know, but if I had to answer that question, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
So.
And Manny, I want to add to that because to your first point, because I've heard people say things about you, right? When you were at the first gym, you remember the one that I came to? And I sat back one day, I was like, but he's doing something right though. And y'all are not doing anything that's progressing, but he's doing hold up. He got the formula. I was like, nah, he's on to something. I told you that in the gym.
I remember.
I'm like, no. Like anything you're doing, I'm behind it because you know what you're doing, man. And I just want to give you your flowers for that because I don't think people really see your intensity as guidance. They see it as like, oh, he's being a dick today. It's like, no, he actually knows.
No, people think I'm an asshole, you know? And I'm like, nah, man. It's
Which
like,
he can be.
You know? Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
But that's not who he is.
But I don't care. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. But that's not who he is, though. That's not who he is.
I had that conversation with my dad yesterday. I was like, I don't get it.
Is your dad kind of that way? Did you get it from him?
To a certain extent,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's, you know, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I mean, my dad was I couldn't do anything like, not anything right, but he was always trying to make me better.
Yeah.
Time out. Just
Yeah.
because I think this is going to be a great quote for it. I just gave me a tear almost. I know you said apple doesn't fall far from tree, but it sounded like alpha.
Oh, hey,
And
that's a good one.
Yeah, like
Alpha doesn't
that
fall.
right there.
No, that's a good shirt.
That's
right
a good
there.
shirt, dog. The alpha
Are
doesn't
we putting
fall
badass
funny.
vegan on that shit? I'm going to trademark that right now.
We'll put it on everything.
No, hey, all right, so
We
to
should
go,
just do it ourselves.
to go, yeah, exactly. To go along with what you saying is like, so you asked about the story of how we actually met. So this kind of goes into that and about what you're saying about seeing the potential in people because I had found you online. This is like you put out like one of your first videos. Man, this had to be like 10? Like 2010-ish.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Aging
man,
yourself now.
Yeah. Before Instagram.
I don't mind telling my age. 47. I'm just old.
We're both 47.
Yeah, both 47.
Yeah.
Somebody's 50 out of this group. I'm just gonna say.
And it ain't me.
Right. So I go down to
He
the
just
gym.
did you dirty, dog.
The first gym. I go to the first gym. I go down there, and I had called you before I came. So I came down and talked, and I was like, I was in corporate America, but I knew that wasn't for me. I just knew that wasn't for me, and I was like, man, I'm thinking about getting out. I want to like, you know, that's because I started with the P90X thing. A lot of people don't know. Like I started with P90X. I'm telling them the whole story, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'd love to come down, learn from you, get it cracking. I remember you this is how I knew he was a real dude. He looked me dead in my eyes, and he looked at my page. I had a lot of followers already. He's like, man, and you like kind of quizzed me. He's like, man, you know your shit. I'm like, yeah. Like he's like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I see you got a lot of potential, and I can see you learning everything from me and then leaving. And I'm not willing to deal with that. He was like, we could be cool, but I can't really like have you working here. And I was like, damn.
He kept it G.
He kept it G, and I was like, I appreciate it, dog.
Was that around the time when you worked at Equinox?
No, it's way before that. I did Equinox literally just like to fill some time. I had the protein shake out already. I was just,
Bro, what haven't you done, bro? You got documentary. You on TV
I was
shows.
a butcher. I done done. Yes.
You're a butcher.
How you think I know about tripe and fucking chitlins and yeah? I done it all.
No
man.
wonder you're vegan.
Right.
You know, that's,
You know what I'm saying? Like, when
No,
people
that
are
really
like having to
helped.
deal with it a lot.
Yeah, because I
like,
worked in the meat
the origin
department
story.
at Dixie, and I had
Yeah.
to deal with that too.
That really helped.
because that would
man.
gross me out.
I'm
Like, I
telling
ain't
you,
gonna lie.
dude.
Like, that
You
would
start
gross me.
dealing, and you start seeing how meat is dealt with when it's expired and just put right back out there, and like, and how they disguise
blend it
it.
to make
Yeah,
it
blend it with
yeah.
something else to give it to you, and you like,
Bro, I got a chicken the other day at Publix and it had 3 legs. Swear to God.
No,
it was
I
like
believe
a
you.
No,
disabled chicken. Like my wife and I were like, oh, we're not eating that.
No,
Like
no.
what is that? Like
Because
I'd already been down that road, you know. Like when you meet people and their path, and you don't want it to be like a
Hindrance.
no, not even a hindrance, but like a stop. Like
Right,
I almost like if I would have said that, you might have actually been a part of what I was doing too long. You know, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you are meant to be who you are and where you're going. So if you ended up working for me, because it would have been good,
no, it would have been dope.
right?
Shit, yeah.
But would I have slowed down your journey and where you were going? Because I knew you were going somewhere on your own, somewhere special. And I've had that happen, and also too, it can hurt my business because you're such a personality and people drawn to you. All of a sudden, you bring in a lot of people to the gym,
And I'm gone.
Everybody loves you, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go do my own thing." And it's not because, and I wouldn't have been mad at that, but it would have affected my business.
True,
and so I identified that, yeah, you're a star, and yes, you could help me now. But I think you should just go and be a star. Like, go do your thing. I've told that to a lot of people, and then I've made the mistake of not saying that and, like, kind of saying yes, and then, of course, it bites you in the ass. Like,
But Manny, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had somebody that
yeah, we're still going, right?
Yeah.
We're
Have you ever had somebody that blew up under you and then they still showed love back even though they left? Because it doesn't have to be like it's
I
a
100% agree with you that it doesn't have to be that way, but it never works out that way.
Yeah, a lot of times.
I don't think I've had one person. Hold on, let me think about this because I don't want to.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to. No, not one person that has left me has truly like shown love. They might think they have, but not.
And to back that up,
you know?
I think because of what he did for me, I think we remain so close because of that.
Right.
Like if I'm in town, and it's funny. Like I'll be like, oh man, I want to do a screening for the film. I want to use your gym because I want people to come to your shit and see what's up. Like when I did the thing for what was it? What's the dude that got caught with the steroids and got one nut now?
Wait, which one?
Oh,
Lance Armstrong. See,
God.
told you. Somebody's gonna figure it out.
Hey, that's a plug.
That's a plug.
That one nut.
That one nut. There you go. Yeah. But anyway, so like when Lance Armstrong, they were like, "Hey, we want you to do something." I was like, "Yo, man, if it's cool, I'll use your gym," and they gonna put it all over the place. Like if I'm in Miami, I hit Manning up. Like I'm here. I might not even be close to the gym, but I'm gonna come to Legacy wherever I am and hopefully see him there. But if not, I'm still gonna come to Legacy.
If you understand your own greatness, you want to show love to everybody.
Right.
But see, a lot of people don't realize that.
I personally don't think people sometimes believe their own greatness, you know, if that makes sense.
But I think this also goes with what both of y'all saying. A lot of people don't understand the community in greatness. Like, everybody's like, no, I did this myself. Like, yeah, you really didn't. I know you did a lot of that work. You did 99% of that. But, and Torre will tell you, I've been preaching to Torre 15 years now. Hey, man, me and you together, can't nobody fuck with us, dog. I'm sorry, like, and I know this sounds crazy coming from the V, but but I always feel like that. I'm like, dude, we got a combination, man. If we just put this together, it ain't nobody that can stop us, dog.
I mean, you always go stronger. You go further together. Like,
especially
and
with
that's something that is really hard for people that have it's just a strong conviction that they're trying to do something on their own and not realizing that they can do something on their own with a community of people that support that vision and that will help them. Like, again, this whole self-made, like there's no such thing as self-made. You know, now there's self-driven.
Yeah.
You know, you can be self-driven, but at the end of the day, it takes a tribe, it takes a community, it takes support. And I would say the thing that you're always like, I've always appreciated you is that no matter if we talk, text, haven't seen each other in forever, we're the same as soon as you walk in the room.
Every time.
And there's few people that you can do that with in your life.
Right.
You know, there's certain people that once they kind of, when you don't really stay connected, you're kind of like done with them, really.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But we have an understanding like you're doing you at a high level and I'm doing me at a high level. And when we come back, we'll come back.
And also, too, hey, I feel like we kind of taking over the conversation. But
I do want Tori to answer the question, though, that I asked. Because I'm intrigued by your...
But I think this also goes to, like, too many people don't celebrate other people's wins.
Oh,
they're jealous of the wins.
1,000%.
So it's like, when I see you fucking winning, I'm like, yo, that's my boy, man. Like,
I know somebody that's winning.
Yeah, I know.
Winners like to see
They love
winners
to see, like,
win.
It's crazy.
Period.
I won't bring up any names, but Tori and I, there was a person in our past that, like, we would show him like somebody winning. Like I get hype off strangers winning.
Right.
I'd be like, yo, dude, look what they did. And they'd be like, I don't know them. Like, what the fuck they got to do with you? Like, what? And
it's like, well, why are you celebrating when the Heat win the championship?
Yeah, you don't know them.
You know what I mean? Like, you got friends on the team. Like, no, you don't. You know. So,
but I think
Tori, like,
go ahead,
let's let Tori, because I want to hear it, because we only got like 7
before
minutes.
the music starts blasting. Your feet.
Stop.
So it's what I would like for someone to know that they don't know about me. When I basically came into existence, and as I became into who I am, I always had this feeling inside to help people. Like, I don't care who you are. It didn't matter to me. And I hate that society changed so much now. But there used to be a time that if you were on the side of the road, I don't have to know you. I'll stop and be like, hey, are you okay? Right. You know, but we got to a point now where people are afraid of someone with locks coming up to them and asking them if they're not, like, no, I'm good. You know, and it's so sad because when I put my programs out, it was hard for me to put them out because I'm so used to this. One-on-one, helping a person and seeing it through. You know, just putting it out just to make money was not really my way of doing things, because I want it to truly help you. I don't want it to just be out and you buy it and you don't ever use it, which I realize society has moved to that, where because we know 95% of people that purchase it aren't going to use it anyway, but you made the money already. Right. And so it was so hard for me to, because that's what it took. I think it's taken me longer to get the success that I truly desire, because I just have a heart that wants to help you, and no matter what it is. And I think sometimes it's looked down upon. And so, like you said, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And when I meet people, I truly want to connect with them. And sometimes I may come off saying things that may not be appropriate, but it's just me just really wanting to talk to people. And if I say,
it's like vulnerability is somehow like
weakness.
It's just
or
wild.
awkwardness.
Yeah, or awkwardness.
Yes. And it's just me wanting to truly, because I used to always get you don't follow me. But I don't really know you. I have to know you. And it's not an arrogance or anything. It's just, I'm just not built that way. I want to help you, but I'm not that person that'll just follow you or just be friends with you because of who you are.
Right.
So that's something that was hard for me to do, and wanting people to know that I always have a heart to help. And I think I struggle with that because people say, why are you always answering everybody's DM and everybody's comment? Because I really want to help them. But it can kind of take away because I spend too much time doing that.
I think at the heart of everybody's existence, they want to help.
Yeah.
Right. You know that's why I talk the way I talk on social media, because I got kind of screwed over by the medical system. Right. They put me on severe anxiety, depression medication, but it was for sickle cell. They didn't know I had sickle cell. They hired a psychiatrist, did a number to my head. Did the whole thing, and then I fought against it. They called me crazy, but I was still able to play professional sports. So I think it's at the heart, helping people with our journey is what it's really about.
And it feels good. Yeah. It actually feels good to help people, man. I'm sure you see it every day. Like, I mean, you've grown to such a status, but I know you see it. You know what I'm saying? You see, like, the individual stories, like, that come to legacy. The people that you work with that come to legacy. Like, everything is helping people. Like, I believe that all four of us literally are in the business of helping people.
Yeah, we're not selling, we're serving.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, the fitness industry is servant. It's like we are servants. Yeah. Like we truly are.
Psychologists.
Like, everything about fitness, because it should be said wellness, Like, and that's where the world is moving. The world is moving. People want to be well. They don't want to be fit. They want to be well because like, you see a lot of people, they're fit, but their mind's crazy. You know, so what we really need is a full spectrum of mind, body, soul, where we're well. And we're also, and by being well, we're well for each other. The best version that you can become is supporting the people around you. But if you're not the best, then you can't support those that need you. And every single person in this room is a leader, and every single person has people looking up or down to them. Sorry.
See, he just told me, oh man, chill out. When I said like your feet, and then you throw that one.
It just felt right.
Manning is that one dude who's like, oh, it hurts right there? Like right here?
I'm going to keep poking. Let's go around and favorite quote. I think we might have already said y'all's, but if you have another one, I'm a big quote guy, as you can see. So my newest one, I didn't memorize it yet, so I'm not that talented.
Well, okay, why are you looking it up?
You tell me yours.
Why are you looking it up now? But I'll say this because I didn't say like my secret thing. I actually went into
you haven't. That's right.
I went into yours because and it's funny, like this was not the episode that everybody's supposed to be tearing up, but I guess it happened. But I think a lot of people don't know, like a lot of people say you share so much of yourself. I share so much of myself because I realize that like I'm not the only one that's been through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I know how people feel alone all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people out there feel like they're the only ones going through this certain struggle. And that's why I tell everybody, like, share your story because you never know who you helping out there. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one person that they might not even be in your country, but the internet, while it has its faults, it has been able to bring us together. And somebody might see where you overcame the smallest thing to you, but it was the biggest thing to them. And they're like, man, if he can do it or she can do it, then I can do it too. And I think that's where we need to be at. Like, that's why believe me, I smile all the time, but I go through like, the day my mom died, I was like, yo, like, I remember I texted him. I was just like, I don't even know how to feel, but I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But like, we all go through our stuff. Like my smiling is just my way to like get through the day. Cause if I start off smiling in the day, hopefully I end the smile. But if I start off fucked up, everybody in my path gotta watch out. So like I share all the stuff so that I want people to understand like you're not by yourself. That's my biggest like secret. Cause a lot of people are like, man, you share so much. I'm like, no, I share enough. I keep stuff private, but I share
that
enough.
Ain't that secret though, bro. Like you have been helping people for a long time, and it's very, I mean, it's obvious to me that that's what you're here to do. Like, and your smile is so contagious, but we can all, you ain't just, it's not a perfect smile. But
that's because y'all around me though. I think like people that don't know me, cause like, sometimes people like, man, smile. Like, damn. Like, you know, like, because sometimes I forget. Like, I might be engaged in whatever thought is in my head, and that face comes across, and they like, dude.
Oh,
like,
everybody. Anytime I'm thinking, like, I think a lot. And my wife's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I go, I must have a resting thinking bitch face or something. So that's another t-shirt.
Yeah.
My resting bitch face is my thinking face.
Right.
So.
And I'll say mine. I have this gripe with the fact that people believe that everything is naturally genetically gifted, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about that earlier because, me, I'm not naturally genetically gifted at anything, like nothing.
You just worked your ass off.
I worked my ass off more than anybody in my family. I have 24 siblings. None of them had a 40-inch vertical leap like me. None of them ran a 4.5 40.
24 siblings?
He's Jamaican.
24, yeah.
One daddy?
One daddy.
One dad?
One daddy.
Boy, he be planting that thing.
Yeah. That's why it's called Captain Planted.
Wow.
But nothing's.
That's amazing.
Nothing was genetically gifted. The only thing I ever got free was like free lunch. That's it. I grew up in the ghetto, hard. Right? I'm not trying to call myself better than anybody or anything, but I speech impediment. I had to take speech classes. Like hours a day. I have a podcast. I have a documentary similar to his that's coming out about sickle cell and the medical system and all that. So it's like nothing. Like I worked my ass off, like hard as shit. Like nothing ever came naturally except my jump shot. My jump shot's pretty natural. Like, other than my jump shot,
He's got a nice jump.
You gotta
Yeah.
throw a little bit of shit in
other
there.
than everything else, it's work, and it's they call it 10,000 hours, 20, 30, 40,000 hours, like, and it's every day, it's nonstop, it's messing up and not letting it phase you and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, but
And that's where like what you saying is like. People say, "Oh, it's genetics." It's like, yeah, but you haven't even tested your genetics to see where they go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, the only reason why he like this because of genetics. But yeah, but you tested your genetics on the couch,
Right.
Like, go test your shit and see where it goes. Like, you'll be shocked where your genetics will take you.
embarrassment will take you a long way.
It'll take you a long way. I think that's part of like the problem too. Is like today's culture ain't never been fucked over, embarrassed.
Cheated on.
Got their ass beat, whatever it is. We went through some shit, and we're like, "Yo, that ain't happening again, dog." Like, so now they sitting on this protected lifestyle that when it does happen, the whole world crashes because they been protected their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
We done been through more than once. So I think that, and I'm not saying just us four, but like I'm sure there's people that's watching this now that be like, "Yeah, man, I went through a whole bunch of stuff to get to where I'm at." Like right now, like even as a parent, you know, you got to tell yourself sometimes, and I have to tell myself sometimes, like, nah, man, she or he got to work for this.
Well, I mean, the common theme that y'all keep saying that I just feel very, very strongly about is it's work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what you choose to do. You have to give it your all, and you have to give it your all every single day.
Every single
with
day.
enthusiasm.
It's
Yeah.
the consistency that compounds over time. It's like everyone asks, I'm sure y'all get it all. Like, what's the number one thing people ask you? The number one thing.
How old is he?
How do I look like? How do I look like you?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
How do I
true.
get your physique?
Right. So that's the number one thing. The number one question I get asked all the time is, how do I look like you? And I'm like, you're never coming from my mom and dad. Like,
Right.
it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
But what I do, I would love to hear your answer, because my answer is always, the only thing that I can say is it's consistency.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what
the only thing that I can tell you is that I have never not shown up for myself. Whether I'm sick, whether I'm tired, whether I have shit going on in my life, whether I'm going through this, going through that, I've got no money, got money. It didn't matter. I was still showing up, and I was still, because we are the byproduct of the decisions that we make every single day. The person that we're becoming is the decisions we make. So, are you making the right decisions? I heard it say, choose your choice every day.
So that's when you said the quote. It's two of them. To me, it's failure is a part of success, right?
Right.
And I had to realize that because when you fail, you're like, damn, I'm not getting there, but it's a part of the success. And everything is a choice. Everything. Like you're only here because of the choices that you've made.
Right.
And then the further you go, it's with the choices you make. It's just a choice. And once you hold that, receive and accept that responsibility and that accountability, you actually think more about the choices, because I think we forget about them, because we can get mad and blame someone for doing something to us, but we made the choice to get in there with them.
Right. My current favorite quote, obviously other than No Days Off, but is the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Marcus Aurelius. And it really speaks to me because I often feel crazy and insane and alone and alienated, and like, why am I like this? Like, why does my brain not stop? Why do I want to see everyone win and no one else, everybody else is hating, all this stuff? Yeah. And then you get in a room like this, you're like, oh, there's some other crazy people, So we're not alone. We're not alone. There's a lot of like-minded people out there. There's a lot of people that believe in that same way, and I think we're the silent majority.
Right.
Unfortunately, the loud minority is oftentimes louder.
Yeah.
But I think we're stepping into an era, what I like to call the Great Awakening, is that we're stepping into an era that it's time for us to be loud. It's time for us to not be silent. It's time for us to tell people how we feel about being disciplined and hard work and get back to the old, new ways, old ways, whatever you want to say it. But like leading by example and not being, afraid we're going to get canceled because, we're, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, let's just let's bring back authenticity, vulnerability. Let's have these discussions also with, like, people are going to see
people
this,
that eat meat.
You know what I mean? So,
No,
but what'd you say?
What'd you say? Have these discussions with people that eat meat? Yeah, we should. But no, like, to go what you say too, like, the accountability. I think that's one of the biggest things missing too, is like, everybody wants everybody to do so good. You need to do this and you need to do that. It's like, well, motherfucker, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, everybody wants the world to change, but they're not willing to change for
That
the world.
one right there, definitely.
Like, what you
If you want to see the world change, the first thing starts with you.
You change yourself, but they want everybody else to do all this stuff.
Right.
It's like, dude, like, nah. But
Favorite quote?
favorite quote right now is actually one of mine. But I always say this recently is like, we have to start to learn to love ourselves, because when you learn to love yourself, not only will you not do certain things that will hinder your growth, you also want to see other people see how good that feels when you love yourself. So now you won't treat other people like shit either, because you're like, man, it feels so good to love myself. I wonder if I say the wrong thing to them, that's not gonna make them love themselves.
How does one love oneself?
You gotta actually sit down with yourself. I think that's another thing, man. People are scared to be alone. They associate alone with lonely, and it's two different words. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are scared to be by themselves and sit with the thoughts that's going through their head.
It's like
that's
the difference between isolation and solitude.
Right. That's why we got
You can
headphones
find
in all day, music
so much
going all
in
day.
solitude. It's
So
not
much.
isolation. It's solitude, because you're finding your soul, is how I kind of say it. But to kind of expand on that, to me, it's the conversations we have with ourselves in our head.
People don't want to talk to themselves.
Well, not only do they want to talk to themselves, they keep talking negative to themselves.
Yes.
People lead with what they don't have, what they can't get, they lead with negative. And that will destroy your life. It will destroy your life. So you can't love yourself if you don't
And talk
talk
shit about yourself.
positive to yourself. So
And
I
that-
tell
but that
people
comes
all the
down to
time
showing
to
up on
change
yourself
the
too.
conversation you're having in your head first. And if you're not having conversations in your head, I'm kind of worried about you.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever
Now,
talk
if
to
it's
somebody with
different voices, now that's a problem too.
Listen. They
Yeah.
say only 60% of people have an inner voice, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I said-
I've
I
heard
saw-
that. I've heard
Where'd
that.
you hear that from?
I was.
I did have a woman one time. I was telling her that I talk to myself all the time,
Yeah.
and she was like, "That's weird."
Now, if you have a dialogue out
she
loud,
goes, "You're one of those." That's what she said. You're one of those. I was like, "What does that mean?"
Dude, self-talk is the best.
Yeah.
talk,
man, you can talk yourself out of some trouble sometimes.
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Now, you might talk yourself into some trouble, but a lot of times you can talk yourself out of some trouble. Like, for real. Like, you got to have that talk with yourself. But I was saying that goes along with what you were saying about, like, that also is like, yo, I'm going to show up for myself no matter what. I think all four of us in this room, like, when the shit was like, when everybody counted us out, we still showed up every day.
Right.
Man, it was times I was going on 10-mile runs in tears. But I'm out there, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going on this run. I'm going to work out today. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I do know if I don't do the right shit, the right result ain't going to happen.
What's your favorite broke story?
I didn't do my quote yet.
On the phone. Oh, I thought you did.
We're not.
Okay.
No, y'all do your quote. Do your
He
quote.
did his. He did his.
You did yours, all right.
You did yours.
Yeah. So my favorite quote is by Mark Twain.
Okay.
It's easy to fool someone than to convince someone that they were fooled. And the reason that's my favorite quote is because by me going through what I went through at 18 years old in the hospital, being told that I couldn't play sports anymore, right? After almost losing my kidneys the second time, I was 19. I started to piece things together, right? I'm like, well, if I eat this, I'll get sick and I'll need medication. But why did I eat that? Who should have taught me? The school didn't teach me. Why didn't they teach me? Because I needed to fill their pockets.
Right.
Oh, then psychiatrists. So it's like, oh, they're all in bed together. Oh, snap. Oh, wow. So how am I going to exit this? Self-accountability, discipline, everything what we've been talking about. And that actually got me canceled on social media. Like, I got shadow banned. They shut me down for 15
They shadow
months.
banned me too. So it's
Yeah,
all good.
so
I think I'm finally.
I got it.
I just got
banned.
back in. Yeah.
yeah.
Got it too.
Yeah.
So that Mark Twain quote.
I got a whole film shadow ban.
All right, favorite broke story.
Favorite broke story actually was on the phone with him. And I was talking to him. I'm like, damn, bro, I just looked my rent due, and I was like, I got $8 in my fucking account. And I'll never forget, he said, he's like, we gonna be good, man. We just gonna keep grinding and this shit gonna work out. And I don't never talk money like that, but just for anybody that's ever feeling like down and out, what he said, showing up every day for yourself, Look 10 years later, because I was like 2011. I think it was like 2011.
I was at Honda still.
Yeah, it was like 2011. So you fast forward, I got my book deal like 2021, and it was for $500,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, literally, when they said that, I ain't gonna even lie. I'll never hide. I was in there crying like a bitch in my car. I remember FaceTiming my mom, and like, she answered the FaceTime. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, and you know, like when you got a whooping as a kid, you try to talk and you can't get it out. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm trying to like, it's okay. No, it's good. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, and I was like, we got the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like, but it came from like, and that's not a bragging thing. It's just like, yo, it was the grind.
No,
like,
of course
showing
not.
up
It's your story.
every day. Not knowing, and I think people got to show up not knowing the when is gonna happen. I think people want to put a time on like.
Well, it's easy to show up if you know the outcome.
Exactly.
I think that's the discipline.
But I think this is the thing. We know the outcome. We know if we show up every day, this dope result's gonna happen.
Right. You just don't know when.
Exactly. And that's the problem. People want to know, hey, do I got 2 months?
It's the meme of the guy digging for the diamonds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he quits.
And the other guy quits, and then the other guy keeps going, and they're the diamonds.
Yeah,
So.
and it's like, nah, like when you really find your passion, I'm really convinced that when you find your passion, you don't set a timetable on it. You willing to work for that shit till you pass away.
Yeah, I've always said it. When you find your purpose, and the only reason I say it like that is because I feel like passion sometimes can be related to emotion.
Yeah,
True.
And there's
And
moments.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
and it's one and the same. It's not. We're saying the
But it's
same
momentary.
thing.
Like-
But like,
yeah, you're right.
Oftentimes though, when you're passionate, you're excited about something, and then all of a sudden you have a bad day, and then that passion doesn't.
Now you're on a 10-mile run crying.
Yeah. All right, is there anything that y'all just want to leave the audience with? First of all, this has been great. Like we could go. I mean, I can already tell we could go all day. We should have started at 1.
This might be a sub episode now.
But we can do it again. We can run it back. Tori, when's the next show?
My next show, which is normally that show I do every year, they changed the rules. Now you have to compete at a smaller show and win it in order to qualify to go to that show. So they turned it into a natural Mr. Olympia. Oh. Because it's a natural show. It's, they urine and polygraph test you. Okay. But it's still an IFBB show. And so
is the polygraph like is it nerve wracking or is it not?
It is because you're like
I mean at the end of the day isn't it kind of like I mean polygraph like even if you are nervous
Correct.
you could mess up.
Correct.
And then
right?
you a black man with dreads on the polygraph? That's like, yo.
You know what was funny when they did it? They were like, I'm gonna ask you some questions and that's it from the computer. And I was like, oh, okay. But the computer asked me the questions.
Oh,
so
shit.
that was weird.
Oh, that's really freaks you
I
out.
was like,
You're like AI is figuring out right now? Like,
but yeah, so I'm looking into see. I have to do at least 2 or 3 shows next year because I'm also wanting to get qualified for the Masters.
so you got a bunch of shows coming up.
Masters Olympia is in August.
And how do people follow you?
Torre Washington, Torre.Washington on everything.
Okay.
That's all my name. TORRE.
And obviously badass vegan. That's easy to find.
Captain Planted, Lance Kearse.
Captain Plenty.
Plant.
That's how I want you to start. That's how you gotta. That's how you gotta say it now. Captain.
Oh, we
Plenty.
do have a retreat coming up too.
Oh yes, we have
In
a wellness
March,
retreat in
Nicaragua.
Oh, Nicaragua, Managua.
Yeah.
What's
Managua?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Managua, Nicaragua.
It's
It's
nice, man.
It's right off its own private lagoon. Everything.
Yeah,
It's
right.
inactive. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Inactive volcano.
it's inactive volcano, private beach, all that stuff.
They got steaks.
They got all the plant-based steaks you want, brother. We got you.
Lion's Mane.
But I'm not gonna lie though, this food actually,
It's so
man,
good.
Really?
yeah, like
Yeah.
not like that. Because I know a lot of times you hear natural food, you like, oh, cool, like a retreat. No,
'Cause I'm sure the fruit's like off the
it's
chain.
Everything,
crazy.
dude. Like,
everything.
They make
like,
it everything from scratch.
They make everything from scratch.
wow.
Like I told John when I was there, I said
yeah, he went before.
I would wake up like when is breakfast? And then after breakfast, I just want to wait for lunch because it was always so good.
And
Are y'all allowed to eat eggs?
No.
See, if y'all
Well,
could,
not anybody's
if I
allowed
could
to do what the fuck
eat
they
eggs,
want. We just don't.
you know, I
I'll say
might
that.
consider it
You said if you could eat.
because I love eggs. Like I'm an egg.
Did they have
man.
a label for that? Vegetarian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they
Yeah.
See, you can be vegetarian.
Yeah, man. I just want to be me. So.
You can be an eggitarian.
And
Exactly.
see, I wanted to say this because people should be able to have a conversation like this without the labels that. Oh,
Or
he's
the anger,
vegan.
too.
It just should be
The anger.
We're
That's
just
what it
people.
really is.
Right.
Have you seen some of these like debate podcasts where they're just like attacking each other? It's mind-boggling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
clickbait. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's clickbait.
Yeah, I guess nobody's
Oh, maybe we
watching
need to
this.
do some
We're
shit.
too kumbaya.
Yeah.
Fuck Legacy Fit.
Yeah.
Fuck the meat eaters.
I don't really like him.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
you
come to
talking
this bitch. No way. I'm only here because he owed me $10.
That's a million likes right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You got a favorite broke story?
Favorite broke story. I got two, and I'll make them
Two?
very
All right.
fast. All right, so graduate from college, playing basketball overseas, signing contracts, doing my thing. A month later, after playing my last game in Spain, I'm with the Jacksonville Jaguars minicamp, catching one-handed passes. Like, I hadn't played football since I was 14, and I'm nice because I can run, jump, everything. Coach brings me, oh, Lance, good job. You had the crowd going crazy. You signed an autograph. He's like, yeah, but we can't sign you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
We can't sign you because you're 24. You hadn't really played. Like, you're athletic, but we want to see you with some experience.
Yeah.
Arena football, basically.
Right,
he
right,
wanted me to
right.
play. I'm like, no, I'm not about to get broke up for arena.
Yeah.
I ended up working at Enterprise Car Rentals for $13.30 an hour.
Man, that's a beast of a job too.
Like, it was
People
like,
don't know that's
right?
a beast of a job.
And then my second one was my,
I can't imagine renting a car from your big ass. Like,
hey, yo,
normally it's just like, like
I sweet
women
talk
behind
him,
the
though.
desk. Like,
I sweet talk him though. I'm nice with it. But
you got them to upgrade.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
You're going to need the roadside assistant. That's an extra $99.
Have you driven in Florida before?
really, people crazy. They typically come from where you from again? It's New Orleans.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Ferguson. Yeah, that ain't no joke.
Yeah. So my second one is I went back to play in Spain, and then me and my ex-wife, we broke up, and I was living in Egypt, right? So with my new girlfriend, we were doing retreats and all that. And
Is the new girlfriend why you had an ex-wife? And I'm just kidding.
yeah. New girlfriend, I had ex-wife because we broke up. We were like,
Okay.
no, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
Religion situation, she's from the Middle East and all that.
Right,
Anyways, I had previously moved her to Miami, gave her $3,500, moved her to Brickell, did all that, right? Paying, helping her. And then she calls me one day while I'm in Egypt, like, Lance, I need you to come back right now. They need me to they're gonna have an interview so I can get my green card because I promised that I would give her green card. And I'm like, okay, damn. I told my, hey, listen, man, I got to go back, because we're doing these retreats, all my money's in that and all that. Like I got to go back and help her, and then I'm gonna come back. No, fuck you! Don't ever come back. I was like, I told you I needed my ex-wife to get her the green card. Like I told you,
Yeah.
don't you ever come back. If you're gonna go there with her, so I leave her, come here, and help her out. I don't have money coming in, right? All my money is elsewhere, right? We go down, we go get the to the office, and they're like, no, we just need your biometric scan. We need your fingerprints and all that. That's it. Nothing else. Like, you're done. You have your green card. Oh, for real? Well, fuck you. She looked over to me and said, no, we can get a divorce right now.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit. Like, I can't get on my feet. No. So I'm out in Miami. I wasn't supposed to be in Miami. I'm out
What
here-
year is this?
2020.
Oof.
Yeah. In the middle of the
I was
pandemic,
about to
this
say,
happened.
that's not a good time to be broke.
Yo,
Man.
I was broke in the middle of the pandemic. Airbnb. Like I don't know nobody. Everybody thinking I'm from Miami. I'm like, I was just living in Egypt for a year. I don't know anything about this place. Like I don't know what's going on. But the captain planned. That's when I started all that.
So moral of the
Popped
story
off,
is
yeah.
don't help your ex. That's what I'm getting.
Help yourself first.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
in the
the
flights,
oxygen
when the
mask.
oxygen
Yeah,
mask,
yeah.
put your oxygen mask on. Yeah.
But
so-
even if your ex is sitting next to you,
yeah,
don't help your ex.
Yeah. But I came up $20,000 the next month.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
I was like, I'm cool. right? So
Yeah, that's
Which
crazy.
goes to show you again, and it doesn't matter how bad it gets.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself, you believe in your purpose, you believe in your
going.
passion, you keep going, it'll work out.
yeah.
Yeah. Bam.
Any last words, fellas?
No, I'm not gonna. No,
Can't-
man.
can't
I just
take
want to
you
say
anywhere.
thanks for having us, man. For real, like, you know, I love you like a brother. For real, like outside of this, like I know people always want to say they know Manning. They don't know Manning. They just like to name
Or they
drop.
know the 2011 Manning. You know,
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that too.
Like they haven't stuck
Like,
around
I met
for the
him in 2011. What an asshole.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't know about the progression. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
had dreads back in the day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but no, man. Like I just really want. Congrats on everything, man. Like I really love to see you shine, and like this is. I know that as dope as this whole facility is, I know this is just like a stepping stone. Like it's still more.
We're just getting, my favorite thing that I tell my staff, we're just getting started.
I didn't even realize
and I
you had
appreciate you making vegan water and everything, dog.
definitely.
Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
They make vegan water.
He made vegan water, man.
No, but seriously, in all seriousness about the water. So we were just talking about this, right?
Yeah.
And talking about how the earth is not the same.
Yeah.
And like we're contaminating the earth, like by the pollution, all this stuff. So think about all the premium waters are coming from the earth, from wells and springs and mountains and things like that are polluted. So the idea that premium water, all these brands have been around for 100 years, and you're seeing it with Fiji found bacteria, like billions of bottles of bacteria. Perrier had fecal matter in their plant. Like we're seeing the effects of humans on the planet. And so what we are doing, we're really truly the first premium water that is putting it through a process.
Yeah.
And back, 10 years ago, that was frowned upon. But now it's something that's necessary. It's necessary to be able to give people water without PFAS, without microplastics, without toxins, without metals. And we are ensuring that what's in that can you can trust, and that it's truly hydrating you, and it's truly pure, and it has the proper essential minerals. And yeah, technically it is vegan, so whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on that real quick.
Yeah.
You said something that I think most people forget, and you touched on it earlier. Stop demonizing this word process, because this is a processed water.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going through a process in order to get here. So a lot of times when people hear the term vegan and they see people eating, even down to the oils, and they're afraid of
But
the
juice
oils.
is processed.
That's what
You remove
Like
fiber.
processed
You're removing
foods
fiber.
is what-
Yeah, but my point is, they always condemn Gardein or any of these food that people purchase in the stores to eat because they're vegan. Everything is processed. All my clothes are processed. This air is processed.
Right.
So we live in a processed society. So in order to demonize it, is just to actually make yourself feel better.
Yeah,
So I
because
think
they
that's
sitting
a
there
cool
eating
synergy.
processed Doritos while they talk about the vegan food. Like it's like, all right, cool. Like they eating processed food while they talking about, well, I can't believe they eating that process. Like so, yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's a really good point. Really good point.
And I believe too, like technology doesn't just fall for the TVs and the lights. Like technology is what's helping you do that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like technology. When people are so scared of technology advances, like no, like this is a dope thing. I mean, they don't know that you take one drop of unicorn tear in each can. That's what makes it like taste so good. But I mean,
I had this guy. He drank the still water, and he drank like half of it, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, is this from Jesus's tears?" Like that. The way he said it, I was dying out laughing. Like he was dead serious too.
He needs his
was
own
dead
TV
serious.
show,
Oh,
man.
of course he does. I've told you that.
He needs his own
You know
TV.
these guys that get these ridiculous jobs where they just go around the world like trying shit.
Yes.
That's him. He
Yeah.
needs that. He needs his own show.
anybody looking to
You know?
sponsor it, you
Yeah.
let me know when y'all see
Netflix
this.
special.
It'll be the legacy trip. We'll call it that.
Well,
Yeah.
gentlemen, first of all, thank y'all. All of
Thank
y'all.
you very much.
Sir.
I appreciate it.
We're not, I mean, me and you were close, but I'm not too close to y'all, but love your spirit. Love what y'all are doing. Love who you are. Keep shining. Keep shedding light. Keep being you. Be authentically you. And I hope people out there see this, is that we are all different.
Yes.
We look different. We sound different. We have different backgrounds, but we're sitting here having a wonderful conversation. And that's, for me, what I would like to see the world head into, because everybody's trying to kill us or divide us. tell us that we can't be friends with this person or that person hates you because you're whatever. And at the end of the day, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. That's not the lens that us men are seeing out in the world. And we love everybody. So, period.
Divide and Conquer is the oldest and best game ever played.
Ever played.
It might be working right now.
Oh, it's not.
But we're
Ain't
not
no
gonna
mic. Ain't no mic.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're trying. Like, they're trying their best. Trust me. I mean, if you turn on the news, good Lord.
Yeah.
So, but I think
that was the most Alabama good Lord I've heard in a long time. Good Lord.
Had to bring the Bama back. We had to end it. All right,
man.
no days off.
All day. Unicorn
Gentlemen.
tears, baby. The legs won't make it.